Greetings, Masandawana and all football lovers. Welcome to yet another installment of the Yellow Corner. And this time we bring you the preview of our last 16 match as we head to Bloemfontein to take on Marumo Gallants on Thursday evening. Raps, how's it?
Kimnati Aizowena.
I'm good, man. No complaints, man. I was just sorting out the sound. The volume was way too low. Good, man. After an impressive display by our boys away in Cairo, man. Yeah, looking forward to a different cup competition. The only team in, okay, not the, yeah, one of the two teams in South Africa that can play three cup competitions in a space of 7 days, man. The mighty Mamelodi Sundowns, man. Yeah. Let's get on with it, Raps. And like I said, we're taking Marumo Gallants in Bloemfontein, in a stadium where I can't remember the last time a football match was played, or football match that I know of was played. What's your take on this? On these teams that move their home matches to a different stadiums across the country?
I think, first of all, it was very surprising. But one of the reasons I had it is that Marumo Gallants wants to grow their fan base. Hence, they take some of the games out of the province that they normally play in. But about Bloemfontein, Ska Ocho, a lot of games in the so you wonder how is the pitch? Was the stadium well maintained, even though Celtic Silarikiswa, or you ask yourself questions of the standard of the pitch or the standard of the stadium at this moment, Sejong. But I believe se handle because of they wouldn't take such a big game go Bloemfontein, where else the pitch and the stadium they are not in proper conditions for football.
Yeah, you raised a good point when you said they want to grow. They said they want to grow their brand, and I guess it helps off the field. But on the field, I would worry because the thing is, I think it affects the players. I think the players that Sundowns they know all corners. It's a Loftus. They know where it's a bit bumpy. They know everything about Loftus. They know how is the pitch when it has rained. How is it on a normal sunny day when it's been watered before kickoff? So I think when it comes to the playing side, it does affect the playing side of things, and it's not something that I would be happy with if Sundowns was to move all over the place. If already the home game is up or now. I understand I'm sure there are a lot of supporters of Sundowns who want to see Sundowns playing in their nearest town. When they might be mad at me for saying, "Oh no, I do not want to see Sundowns playing the home games in different venues." They've had three coaches this season. And then when you include the interim coach, then you're talking about four coaches already in one season. Is this unhealthy for a team that plays not even top flight football? Is this unhealthy for a football club?
Yeah, no, they are starting to move like those Egyptian teams where in a season they get about 4 or 5 coaches. But I think for Marumo Gallant, they're in a position where they are desperate for results. And sometimes when you are desperate for results and the results are not coming, you have to take an action. And in these cases, you find out the coach but with I think it was a good riddance. I think it was a matter of time. I think it happened too late. You look at his stats, I think out of 20 games, he only won 2. So, as the chairman of the team, Luena, as much as you love the coach or you love his style of play, but if the results are not coming and you are also worried about saving your status, I think they did very well to let go of Dendens, even though it was late, but I think they've done very well.
You see what you're saying, or letting go of Dance was a good decision. I think this starts at the end of last season. That's where they blundered by not giving Dance a contract to go to preseason with this team. I mean, he got to a Nedbank Cup final with this team, and before season started, they got a Fortloza. It was Fortloza who started the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it, had they given Dens a contract for the forthcoming season, being the current one, and then asked him to submit players, a list of players that he wants, I don't think they will be in the situation that they find themselves in today. So they have themselves to blame for this. But yeah, the Rabs, they're doing well in cup competitions. They're doing well in continental football. They're in the last 16 of the Nedbank Cup, but they're struggling in the Premier Soccer League. Why do you think they're doing so well in cup competitions? Because I think maybe the reason they're doing so well is that cup competition, when they're going to get cup competitions, don't come with that stress. When they go for the games early, because for league games they go they're under serious pressure. I mean, the bottom of the league. Every league game that they win is a must. It's basically a cup competition for Bona League game. So I think the stress, sorry, even if we lose, we get knocked out. Yeah, so be it. But more leaking, their status is at stake. So they play under tremendous pressure. I think that's the reason they may be doing better in cup competitions. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think, like you have said, I think it is the stress that they have in the PSL. But what I've witnessed is that they look like a team that is very good in terms of playing cup competitions. I mean, last season they were the finalists of the Nedbank Cup, and now they are just in the round of 16. And you look at how they are performing in the CAF Confederation. They are doing very well. I think the performance that they are showing in cup competitions, I think if they can transfer that to the PSL, I think they could do much better and they can find themselves in a very good position.
Will they stay up?
Yeah, and I think this coach, from what I've seen so far, I think he has the potential to save them. And maybe if I think they wouldn't be number 16, I think if Baloko class, they were number 15 and they have to play the playoffs. But I don't see them getting relegated from what I've seen since the new coach Afid.
Na ibona ka re ba ya hlatheng, I am babon kahle.
What's happened? Another shocking part that I've seen on the log, they've lost 9 games and by number 16. In the top 8, there are 4 teams that have lost 8 games. So check that difference. Sorry, like you ask yourself, because of if there are 4 teams still okay, they have lost 8 games more PSL, and when you have lost 9, and Kwena Aqualan Loco. So you ask yourself, but I think they don't score enough. I think if they can score enough, I think they can be in a better position.
Yeah, no, they don't. They definitely don't score enough goals. And yeah, to proceed in cup competitions, you need to score goals. So let's talk about what we think they will do on Thursday. You know, it's not all they play bad actually. This team, man. They don't play bad football. They are okay. And it's not like they have bad players. They have a lot of good players in that team and decent players who can walk into certain PSL teams. From what I've seen since Badlarisa like Muhomi Fabregas, they get him into the ball quite a lot. He's the one who makes them tick. He's the one he always avails himself for ball. excuse me, like he has high ball. So once he gets into the ball, they give him the options. And then there's Kimang this striker Sabona, number 8, Chivaviro. They rely on him so much because once they get they get to the flanks, they cross the ball a lot for him. If they don't do that, they play him the long ball to hold the ball and then bring them to play. And then there's Mvelase, who is that guy is hardworking.
Yeah.
You know some of the things we always say, guy, now when we in private watching the game, but yeah, forget that. That guy is seriously hardworking. For 90 minutes, he gives his all. By hard work, he's giving his all. But the center backs are one, they are prone to mistakes. They make silly mistakes. They are clumsy at times. The other thing, this boy Otladisa, I don't know what's happened. I don't know whether he had disappointment of not getting a move to a big team at the end of last season, but he doesn't see himself this season. Apart from the football, that's not the same as the seasons before. He seems to get really agitated really easy. Like he's almost every game where Shebelang Otladisa. Opponents, so it's so unlike him, and on his day, we know what that boy can do. He can take on the players, he can shoot, he can assist, So it's difficult to say much that this team, even though they play in the same league as us, because they don't give you really much apart from like he being involved in play and then them finding Chivaviro in the cross. What have you picked up from them?
One thing I've picked up in their previous game against USM Alger is that there are wide spaces, especially on the left side, on the right side. You find that Maboja would push forward and then Velasco would push forward, and they get exposed. And their best chances from USM Alger came from the crosses, and they failed to clear or to mark inside the box. Hence, they considered those 2 goals. But in terms of attack, I think this team, they were one-dimensional. I think they only knew how to knock the ball and attack through combination plays. But under this coach, I've witnessed that sometimes they don't need to play that combination play. A route one football or playing that long ball to Chivaviro, it helps the team to get to the final third as soon as possible than playing 10 touches to get inside the box. So I think playing long balls has helped them to get to the final third quicker, and also it suits the style of play such Chivaviro. As you have mentioned, is good at holding the ball and waiting for the midfielders to join them. And they are more attack minded, and you could tell when you see their starting lineup recently. They play a 6-6 of Muhomi and Ngema. And remember, under Dance, Ngema was playing more offensive. So under this new coach, he has dropped a little bit. He plays as a 6, but he's more offensive. And sometimes they play a 9-9 of Litio Kwapeng and Chivaviro. And they have managed to create a lot of chances, which is something that they were missing under Dance Malisel. Because of in all 5 games this coach has played, I think they've managed to score 11. So it shows that their chance creation has advanced and also has improved.
Proper analysis, I'd say. I think they will revert to the 4-4-1-1 that they played a lot under Dance. I think they will have Arubi in goal, Velas right back, and the 2 center backs will be Nonyan and Torre. And then they'll have Maboja at left back. And then they'll have Taitili Otladisa on the flanks. And then they'll have Kumalo as well, a double pivot there, Kumalo, Laki centrally. And then Ngema just behind Chivaviro. That's how I think they will set up. What do you expect from Sundowns, Raps?
I think from us as Sundowns, what I would expect out of this game is that I think we should take off the ball like we used to previously and keep position and try to create chances out of that position. And I've said that the team that against USML, they were exposed on the left back and on the right back. So I think we should use width to create chances. I think our fullbacks should overlap instead of inverting. I think they should overlap in this game because of using width. I believe we can create most chances. And they are playing with a double nine of Litio Kwapeng and Chivaviro sometimes. I think when we are building up from the back, we should try to eliminate those two forwards. And once we eliminate them, we face their middle field. And I believe by doing so, we can outnumber them because of we'll have fullbacks that are pushing forward to give us numbers addition up front. And also, sometimes Chivaviro, he's forced to take shots from adventurous distance because of he's isolated and he doesn't have options. I think if we can cut the supply, I believe that we can isolate Chivaviro and can be frustrated. So I believe that is how I would expect Mamelodi Sundowns to play against Gallants.
Do you think Sundowns will make wholesale changes like they did in the last 32? Because we played a very good team, a team that was third, I think, at the time in Richards Bay, and we made a lot of changes, but the display was absolutely brilliant. Because I expect to see a lot of changes in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think we'll see a lot of changes. Maybe I think or 6 or 7 players. I think they will be brought in into a lineup. And Rolano said that we don't make changes because of we want to rotate, but we give the chance to other players who have been doing very well in the training sessions, but they didn't have that game time. So I think you also want to give those players a chance to play.
Mm. Speaking of giving players a chance to play, let's get into the lineups. My lineup, I will have Riyadh starting. That's number one. And then my back four will be Morena at right back. My two center backs, I think it will be Onyango and Libuse because I don't think did Rushin travel with the team to Egypt?
Next time Monaco match this squad there.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing. Yeah, and then Ngobeni at left back, and then I'm bringing. This is maybe this is not rational, but more emotional. But he made the squad, so I think he's ready. He can give us 60 minutes. I'm bringing my favorite Sundowns player, giving him his what I think would be his first start of the season. River Gauthier at the tip at 6, and then the 8 is Aronakawa, Zungu, Alende, and then I'll have ke mang fano ke mang o kileng from Leopards man.
Now I'm gonna stick lineup so fast, but
No, ka smaller fatshe man. Ke mang Kapinga Lesedi man. I'll have Lesedi at 10, and then Zwane le Shalulile up top. I'm resting Cassius for this one and only starting Zwane le Shalulile because they had missed a few games before Rianto Kikai Egypt. Yours?
I'll keep the same back five, including the goalkeeper, but my 6 will be Bongani
Wait, which
Zungu.
my back five?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my 6 will be Bongani Zungu, and my 8 will be Neoma Yema, and I'll try and play Kapinga as a 8 and see what he can offer the team. Then
Kapinga at 8.
Then not try something new, man.
Ay, ka shapwa ke di-supporter-a wena. Kapinga at 8.
Kapinga, his chance creation and goal contribution, I think in that position, we'd expect more from him, but hence I prefer him replace 8 in this game and see what he can offer the team.
Wait, are you saying he doesn't create much at 10?
Around that position, yeah.
Aye. Goalie Shalulile, it came from him second half against what was this team? Richards Bay. He also first half. Oh, I think we were on a break. He passed Shalulile, so the other left thing and he hit it. No. Also,
Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll stick with my lineup and playing him as a 8. Then up front, I'll have Temba, Shalulile, and I'll start Gift.
You know, I was considering playing Gifty and Tole Leshalile up top Bali too. And I doubt, man. I doubt. I guess sure guy now would it work now? Bali
I
too up
think
top.
this is a game that we can try that combination. And I believe that previously it was doing very well, that combination. And I think it only got disjointed when Gift got injured. But I think in this game, I'll try and revive that combination between the two.
Kind of that game that we lost 2-0 to Ali in Egypt 2 seasons ago. We played them Bali 2
Yeah,
up top.
yeah.
You actually like it has worked before. Yeah. Score prediction?
I believe we'll win 3-1.
Who's scoring?
Shalulile will score a brace and Bongani Zungu will score from a header.
Okay. I'm going for 2-0. I'm going for Shalulile and Mailula to score when he comes on ka second half. Speaking of Mailula, Rapela, are you worried? Prior to the game here, Al Ahly, we spoke about what a good performance away in Cairo can do for his future career. Um, Subsequently, everywhere you read, even prior to the game, uh, there are rumors of overseas interest on the boy. Are you worried these rumors will mess with his head and not necessarily lose focus in terms of doing the wrong things, but maybe because you are excited, like any other human being, when you hear good news, maybe it might affect him and his performance maybe drops.
I think for him at this age, I think these are very exciting news. And for every player, I think you want to play in one of the biggest leagues in the world. And I believe that that's what he wants to learn. But in terms of those news getting over his head, I think he's surrounded by good players and I think good technical team. And I think they will try and bring him down and make sure that he focus on playing for Sundowns. I think whatever happens outside the team, I think they should try ignore it so that it doesn't disturb him. I think at this moment he's still a Sundowns player and he's playing for Sundowns. I think that should be his main focus, and I believe the team as a whole should help him to remain focused in the team because of this is a young boy, and we know that most of the young boys once they hear those news, Unana Riena, he has arrived and he can do as he pleases. But I think the team as a whole needs to help him to stay grounded, humble, and to keep on fighting.
Yeah, no, I concur with what you've said. And another thing is that looking from a distance, he strikes me as a level-headed boy, Mfano. He doesn't strike me as someone, or you can tell he's still a kid, he's 21 and yeah.
But in the past, especially around the transfers and when this news break out, I've learned that sometimes you should not trust the player.
But yeah, like you said, he's surrounded by a great technical team, and I think he has a very good relationship with Rulani. And I think they've already spoken about this. Rulani has maybe told him or not. switch off from the outside rumors, focus on this. You have a chance to become a Sundowns legend. Gus is in A1. I mean, how many players can imagine this boy scores a goal that takes us to a cup final, Champions League, like Percy did in Atteridgeville against Zesco, scoring the second goal. Ne? Imagine he does that, or he scores the winning goal in the Champions League final. He writes his name in our hearts, So Wulani probably told him, focus on this, my boy, and everything else we'll talk about at the end of the season. And with that, that's the end of the episode. The latest installment of the Yellow Corner. Thank you guys for the continued support. Please don't forget to subscribe. Let's keep on interacting on the comments section. Mole. Let's talk about your preferred lineup for this one. Would you make wholesale changes in this match, or you would keep on with the team that has been playing recently? You will see us on, because we're playing on Thursday evening, we'll probably have to wake up early on Saturday, perhaps, and record the preview of our league game away to Stelly. So it might drop around midday on Friday, because we normally drop Friday morning. But because we're playing a game that we need to watch Thursday, we can only record later after. But I prefer like watching game high too, having a proper analysis. So we recording the next day in the morning and then drop it around midday until Friday. Sharp Masandawana, sharp Ndogish.
Sharp Masandawana, sharp Aizo.